right. Well, this fucking guy's been missing for over a month. We finally tracked him down. It's the Super Duper Mario Dario minute. What the fuck's going on, Dario?
Holy bump. Did you guys miss me? We're missing one. It's been so let's recap it. Boogeyman's on vacation. Luke Spicer's out. The Spice of Life podcast is now the final shot. Tanner has a sunburn on his shoulders. What's going on, man? Can we cover some things? What's been going? What's been happening since my absence? We won't call it an absence. We'll call it tardy. I'm just very, very late by about 6 weeks.
Well, there's been some conspiracy theories going on about you and Luke
Oh,
because
that's
you
not good.
guys left at the exact same time.
Mm, can I hear some of the theories? Because I got a couple of my own that I feel like you guys would come up with.
So one of the conspiracy theories was that you and Luke were gonna go do a podcast of your own, which I have no fucking idea what that would be about. Because that would be like, what are we gonna talk about? Veganism and fucking alligators?
You know damn well that I would keep that podcast alive, just like you've been doing, like you've been keeping the podcast alive this whole time with Luke. Luke is just, I don't know what you can quite call Luke. He's not really a beneficiary to anything social, if you think about it. He's been radio silent, hasn't he? I haven't really seen too much of him on the social media either. So, I mean, you talked to him? When was the last time you've had conversation?
I have literally not talked to Luke Spicer since
The last,
since the
the last
series
season.
finale
Yeah.
of the Spice of Life podcast, which is kind of weird, right? Like we're pretty close, and then it's just radio silence. You get the odd picture of vegan food or shitty tomato soup that he posts on Instagram, but
You know, I've had friends. I've had actually a specific friend that we were always kind of hard on. We always kind of gave noogies to and everything. And then just one day they just fucking have enough and they don't talk. I don't talk to some of these people anymore. I think maybe Luke got real sick and tired of the bullying. So I wouldn't call it bullying. You know, sometimes you gotta give somebody a wedgie once in a while.
every once in a while.
Yeah, but I think that's what's going on. I think Luke, now if you talk to him, he's gonna be like, you better put your hands up because I'm coming to scrap, you know? Maybe Luke got balls and we don't know about him. Maybe Luke still wants to kick me in the head.
Have you
We
talked to
don't know.
Luke?
I like I said, went radio silent. I haven't heard I don't remember. I think the last time I've spoken to Luke, I think he LMAOs my posts sometimes, but I don't read his messages. I just don't open them. So maybe that's subconsciously my fault. But to actually have a conversation with them, I think it's been about 2 months since the last time he was on a podcast or we were on a podcast together.
Yeah. Well, in between the last 6 weeks that you've been gone, you did have a fight that you did win.
Unfortunately, I did win. I had a TKO. TKO actually it was what is RTD? Retires on the stool.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, not too bad. I like the performance. The guy was another tough guy. He was when I fought in March, I fought the super middleweight champion of Mexico. I don't know how much weight that pulls. And then I went and dropped the weight class, if you could say. It was more of a catch weight to see how I would feel dropping an extra 4 pounds and then maybe possibly an extra four to make 160.
Yeah.
And last fight was the middleweight champion of Mexico, who I thought was a little bit tougher than the super middleweight. He was a tall, lengthy dude. But I don't know what it was. I'm not going to give too much credit. Uh, Things kind of switched around, and I had a lot of positive energy around me. A lot of good people to be around, and maybe it's because I saw Braidwood before my fight too.
Maybe.
But I just felt fantastic. I felt like I wasn't really. I was a little bit careless, as in not sloppy, but I felt like I had really nothing to worry about on my part, and
Mm.
my punches were flying. I felt I wasn't trying too hard. I wasn't trying to be too fast, too strong. Everything was just landing, and then I think the guy had enough. And when it was because my last fight was a 6 rounder before in March, because it was more of a kind of get back to it because I didn't fight till since September. This one was an 8 rounder. It was my last 8 rounder. We're moving on to 10 rounds next fight. But after the 6th round, what I wanted to do was solidify the win and some. So
Yeah.
I felt like it was a blowout 6th round. As soon as I'm getting ready to stand up for the second, I tell both my coaches, Otis and Howard, I said, I'm stepping it up 7 and 8. These last 2 rounds, I'm really stepping it up because I felt like I got 2 rounds, 6 minutes. I can keep up a pace nonstop because it's over after these next 2 rounds. So I wanted to make sure the win was already done. I already sealed the deal. I just needed to go out there and blow the guy out. So I felt like I was ready to steamroll him. He quits after right before the seventh and eighth, which a little bit bittersweet because I wanted to see what would happen if I start really putting it on somebody who's already losing on points. But other than that, it was a good learning experience. Another one, and hopefully we get a bigger and tougher test next fight.
So you felt good at the weight then?
I felt good at the way it was. I don't when you kind of see me, at first glance, it doesn't look like I have I do have some weight to lose. It looks like maybe, there's not too much muscle. He'd probably be shredded. I remember before I started the weight cut, I was at 7% body fat at like 180 or close to 180. And I'm like, we were kind of looking at it, kind of doing the math. I'm like, wow, like maybe 160 will be a little bit difficult. I think I can always make 160. It would have to be a really significant fight. I think I said this before I even thought about campaigning at middleweight, but now I feel like it's a real possibility. The catch weight was 164 aside from 168 when I usually cut. I do think about 8 weeks of preparation, I can make the 160 healthy. But it would, like I said, it would have to make me it would have to be something to make me jump out my seat, and I can't resist,
Yeah.
But other
Stephen
than that,
Butler.
Maybe Stephen Butler, but I was thinking more something like someone with a bigger, higher status, like a Curtis Stevens or a Vaughn Alexander or something like that. Stephen Butler, he's getting there, and he just beat Carson Jones or whatever, but. I'm talking somebody that really has to make me jump out my seat, maybe like a Boo Boo Andrade, something of the sort. I'm talking about ex champions or current champions or somebody with intercontinental titles, something like that. That's obviously at my caliber right now is a little bit too much to ask for, but I'm saying in the future, if my ranking goes up and something like that does present itself, for sure, I'll pay it at 60. But for now, maybe we'll stay at 168. My managers and we discussed it, so nothing to that. Bruno is still set.
Fucking shit can.
Good old Bruno. He's set to do, still do the Bose fight and Pascal, but obviously it was postponed. I don't know if you know about that. You know about the postpone with Bose hurting his hand. Now, from rumors to actually it being true, I think we're waiting July 4th.
Okay. Yeah. That's it.
For that whole, I'm not sure what the whole thing is. So I don't want to give my thought on it too much because I could actually be way wrong. But from what I understand from the French media is that the commission are still deciding whether they want to license Bose having something to do with his entourage.
Oh, really?
Yes, because his entourage, I can't give it to you straight. I'm actually going to send you the article. The problem is his entourage are apparently very involved in the show, and it has something to do with a liquor license.
Okay.
It has to do something with liquor, and his entourage, I'm hearing, are either bikers or biker gang or whatever they do, and the commission in Quebec will decide if they give believe Steve Bose his boxing license or something like that, or something that has to do with his entourage, something with the license. I know that is in danger. That's putting the fight in danger of ever happening because it was the postponement from an injury, and now it's apparently Steve Bose is not even licensed or something is not. I don't know. We're waiting on something. It's not very clear. It's frustrating on both ends. My parents are going to go watch the fight too, but if there's not going to fight that's going to happen, it'll be very disappointing. But I don't know what's going on. I'll have to send it to you. I'm not sure if you know anything about that or if that even makes sense, but there's some fishy stuff going on. I'm actually going to look that up during this podcast right now.
Well, I do know a little bit of background on Steve Bossy and one of the first MMA fights that came to Quebec. It was put on by Stéphane Patry, where he would. I don't really I just know behind the scenes stuff, but there
Okay.
was a biker element to that, and it wasn't supposed to be an MMA fight, and they made a verbal agreement that it wasn't going to hit the ground, but it could reflect on the people that were co-promoting with Stefan Patry at that time. And I'm guessing Steve is still
Okay,
talking.
so maybe throw away everything I just said. What I'm reading this title from TVA Sports translated from French to English is Steve Boze summoned by the liquor board, races and games.
Oh, could be a little bit more
That's
serious than just a liquor license.
I'm seeing freelance journals that says the Regie has just convened Steve Boze in connection with his application for a boxer's license for the gala July 20th. The whole thing will take place on July 5th. The 5th, as in, okay, so Thursday
Yeah.
is, I guess, will be the deciding day or something. But you see, I'm a little bit confused because I have no idea what anything that has to do with liquor license and games have anything to do with the fight. But that's just me being a fighter and not knowing any of the other part of the business. So I'm not sure what's going on with that, but it's actually looking pretty pessimistic on a lot of people because they're saying this fight's not going to happen.
I could see it having a problem getting sanctioned as a boxing match with you have a former world champion versus a guy that's competed in one boxing match, right? I don't know if they're taking Steve's MMA background into account here, but like he has been in a lot of fights. Um,
Right. And it's the same commission anyways. I'm sure that's like that everywhere, but the boxing commission is the same people as the MMA commission. So they've clearly seen Steve fight. I mean,
yeah,
they're the ones throwing him the license. So, but other than that, like I said, I don't want to put my 2 cents in, but that looks like what's going down is that and then I'm hearing also it's not even going to be at Place Bell. Place Bell was where David Lemieux fought BJ Sanders, and they're going to put it somewhere else at like the Beach Club or something. I don't know. That's just listen. I'm on vacation. I'm not worried about any
who
of this.
knows?
But Manny Montreal was actually the first person to tell me about the hand injury rumor. But you know what? Like I said, I'm not here pointing and all that stuff, and I don't want to, try and have people get mad at me. But I don't know. It's kind of looking like that hand injury wasn't so serious. I'm not
Oh,
sure. Maybe it's
oh,
just a postponement of because they knew what was going on. I don't know.
who knows?
Well, exactly. Who the hell knows? I'm not really sure about any of this, but
Nobody
it
knows.
doesn't matter because Bruno might get chinned. So we're not sure about that.
We're always excited for Bruno to get chinned.
We're always excited for Bruno to fight.
Yes,
I feel like we're all a little bit pumped, but the only
especially
person
Manny.
that's yeah, I guess yeah, Manny's a traitor. I like Manny's older brother anyways, but yeah, so we'll see what happens. I'm very pissed. I've been missing a lot of the final shot. How's Ryan Ford been? I know he was on a show. I think he was on last episode. No.
The real deal was on the last episode. He's doing great. He was actually just in Montreal for a wedding, an Italian wedding. So I don't know if you've ever been to one of those. I haven't, but I did see the spread that
I
they were
will
putting
be
on.
when Bruno
Holy
and
sh!
Karina tie the knot. I will be in an Italian wedding. Don't worry about it. That'll come soon.
When Bruno
I might
knocks
be.
her out.
I don't even know if I'll be invited. So we'll
Probably
see.
not.
And if I do, I might not show up.
You might be the
So
maid of honor. Who knows?
yeah. Has Braidwood been? Shut up. Has Braidwood been on the Final Shot podcast since it
Braidwood
started?
has been on the Final Shot podcast the week before his fight.
The week before his fight.
Yeah,
Anyways, I don't want to reflect too much about it. You were there in Shawinigan.
I was.
When I found out, remember I'm looking at memories actually from a couple months ago, from when we were all very excited, and we all before it even was signed, sealed, or anything, we were just like, oh, we can't wait for the Bell Center,
Yeah.
Montreal, Braidwood, Keene, and all that stuff. Like we were expecting this whole thing. I know this is like old news and all that stuff, but like all of us, even Luke Spicer, we were all preparing for a Bell Center showdown because that's what we thought as high. That's what we thought it was going to be. And when I heard Shawinigan, I'm like, that's just a rumor. There's no way they're going to throw it. I've never even heard of Shawinigan. I know it's close to where I saw the venue of the fight, and I don't know why. I mean, it was they had a lot of media coverage for this fight. TVA Sports, RDS. I mean, they were like even out west, especially. I mean, they had a lot of coverage. I don't know why they just felt like they couldn't do a Bell Center fight, close off a couple sections or whatever it is, and fill up what you want to predict. But I don't know. I didn't really, I don't know, care too much about where the venue was. How was the venue? It was big. It was nice. Like what? It didn't look
It was big. It
too
wasn't
much.
sold out by any means, but they did a good job.
I expect so. I
Yeah.
would have.
They had
So,
the big cardboard cutouts of them. That's fun.
have you talked? Has cardboards of what?
Simon and Adam, they had like these big cardboard cutouts of them.
Did you take any?
No.
What the hell are you doing then? You didn't take a giant cutout of
No.
Braidwood and Simon?
I might get Manny to send me one.
You might have. Oh, you think Manny's got one?
Manny put that together.
Oh, good
Yeah.
for Manny.
That was Manny's 2 cents to the show.
Manny's never made me a cutout or put anything in
Now,
the cutout.
as
I
I
guess.
was in Shawinigan, I called in my friends at the Canadian military. They loaned me a plane, and like it was like a fucking Hercules jet, so I could load my tank on it and go to Cape Coral.
Ah, okay. Yeah, how's that going for you? Did you get approved?
Hey, they let me in because I was with the military at that point, but I did land on the beach and I got in trouble for that.
Oh, okay. Well, I
You
mean
were
that'll
freaked
happen.
out. I know you were.
You know how I am. I'm always a little bit skeptical of you ever appearing in the United States. I'll remain skeptical until then, until I
Listen,
actually see you.
a lot of people think my Instagram stories are true because I do such a good job on Photoshop.
Sure. Well, some of them aren't Photoshop. You just say they are, but they're actually real.
Exactly. You never know where I'll turn up.
Well, so listen, since it's a new show, are we still calling it the Super Duper Dario Minute?
You want to change it? We can change it.
Oh no. And you know what? We're gonna keep it, but I just bought myself a Super Mario shirt and I was gonna wear it for the podcast, but now I'm wearing some bullshit plain white tee.
Well, you're back now, though. You're back in full stride. We're doing
Well, yeah,
Tuesdays.
of course. Yeah. Well, yeah, of course. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll be dead by then. You never know.
You did leave and you went to Florida, but you brought a fucking like a tag along with you and your lovely girlfriend Sarah.
Oh, my heart. No. Yes, I did bring her. She was very excited. We actually, it was funny. We met in I think March, right the day after my fight. And we got along, a couple weeks of dating or whatever it is. And we were talking about Florida for a while. This was like a subject that was talked about like end of March. So she, a lot of Canadians, a lot of Quebec people, and anybody they come to Florida. They're usually on the other side, on the
Yeah.
east side, where Hollandale is, and Miami and West Palm. She's never been to the West Coast. I say the only like tourists, I mean, big tourists that we have are Germans. The Germans love it here. They even inhabit everything. We honestly, German should be the second language here.
Yeah.
And she loved it. It was, and I'm not saying it because it's my home. I love my side of Florida. Over there, it's maybe a nice place to visit, but I don't know if I could stay there. It's a little bit too much. Here, it's a little bit more sleepy. It's very nice, but very, there's some untouched places. We have some very nice beaches, and she was just like a sea turtle. All she was doing was swimming. She was not tanning. She wasn't doing. She's just doing front flips in the water, swimming with the stingrays. And she almost stepped on one too. I always tell her, we learn to shuffle your feet in the beach, and when you're in the swamp, you run sideways and zigzags to get away from an alligator. That's a trick that we learned as a kids.
Oh,
Alligators
I didn't know
cannot
that.
follow you. Alligators cannot follow you if you run zigzag because
Why?
apparently their brains are so small. They're like pea-sized brains. They cannot comprehend where you're going. They cannot follow you. They can run fast as shit straight.
Okay.
They have like these sprints that'll last about 5 seconds. They can go. They can run faster than you for about 5 seconds, and that's all really it takes if you're close enough. If you run zigzag though, if you're getting chased by a gator, they cannot follow you.
Huh. That's very interesting.
These are things we learn as kids in Florida.
See, I went to Florida one time. I went to Orlando.
Yeah, that was your last time.
Yeah, when I was 10.
What? Oh, okay. I thought it was. Okay. When you were 10.
Yeah.
Huh.
Other than my last trip to
Did you
Cape
like-
Coral, but
Did you like Mickey?
hey, you know what? I actually went to Disney World and I got to go into Mickey Mouse's dressing room. I actually have a picture of it.
I actually want to see that picture. That must be a whole-
I'll get my dad to send it to me.
But one more thing about also the survival guide growing up in Florida. If you see a geese, if you see a goose or
Okay.
geese,
Yeah,
geese is the plural. If you see a goose, there are no survival tips against the goose. You die. If a goose flaps its wings and it's coming towards you, there is nothing you can do about it. We have survival guides for bears because we have bears.
Yeah.
We have panthers. We have like all that. A goose is flying at you, you're done. It's over. You've met your end.
Why?
You
We
know how
have geese
scary?
here.
You know how scary geese are?
We have them here.
Yeah, they're terrifying.
They'll fuck you up, but
They are terrifying.
you just grab them by their
There is
shitty neck and squeeze.
No, you can't. They're so big. They're the size of you, Tanner. They're huge. They don't mess around. You know what they'll do? They'll do like a running start and they'll get your feet moving, so you start running and then they start flapping their wings and it's over. They're airborne. It's the scariest thing ever.
What kind of geese do you have there?
We have regular geese like you guys do.
Canadian geese.
Canadian geese. I mean, okay, they're not Canadian geese. Maybe they're, different, a slight different species, but they're they're just huge. I don't mess with goose or geese or any of the sort.
You're scared of them.
I'm deathly afraid of them, and as everyone else should be.
You got armadillos too,
now,
right?
If you're on a park, if you're on a golf course, if you're on a park, if you're anywhere, and you see a goose walking towards you menacingly, and then it starts picking up the pace and starts running, Tanner, you know damn well, I don't care who you are, I don't care who Adam Braidwood is, you're running, you're taking off. That thing will end you. I don't mess with them.
Okay. You don't fuck with geese, but you have armadillos.
We do have armadillos. Isn't that crazy?
I like an armadillo. They're like a little tank.
Because not even, a lot of natives don't even know we have armadillos. We straight up have armadillos in Florida.
Okay, so I know that you have armadillos because my father and I, we drove to Florida from Canada.
Uh-huh.
We ran one of those bastards over.
Yeah, every time I see an armadillo, they're dead because they've been squished or rolled up and they're hiding. But yeah, no, it's not a joke, guys. We do have armadillos in Florida.
What is their fascination with the highway?
It's the same thing as the gators. You see a lot of gators on the highway too.
Yeah.
So from the West Coast to the East Coast, we have I-75. That's our main highway. From Naples to Miami, we have a road called Alligator Alley.
Yeah.
Alligator Alley, you get no reception, you get no nothing. There's no gas stations because it's literally a 4 lanes high. It's a 4-lane highway or a 6-lane highway, 3 going, north and 3 going south or west and whatever. And it's just in the middle of the swamp. There are no establishments on the side of the highway in Alligator Alley. It's about 30 to 40 miles just straight swamp that you're going through. Nice highways and everything. It's not like we're, you're crossing bridges here. Yeah. But it's fences that, keep the alligators away. It's crazy in Alligator Alley because you look at the swamps and you can see alligators all over. Sometimes they get through from holes in the gates or whatever. The craziest thing I've seen was a baby black bear.
Yeah.
Inside the gates of Alligator Alley, just kind of trying to climb. And I'm like, oh my God. And I see some people casually fishing. They don't really mind the alligators over there. They're not really worried about their bait being taken or their legs. But I'm just thinking, those fishermen are standing right there about roughly 20 to 30 feet from a baby black bear. And you got to expect Mama Bear is coming. Mama Bear is pissed. That little brat is walking around where he's not supposed to be, next to the cars with the evil humans, and Mama Bear is not happy. I mean, if I saw a baby black bear, you got to take off. It's time to pack up. You are not supposed to be there. No one's supposed to be there. Mama Bear is about to come and kick some ass. So, So I don't know. By the way, can I ask you something? We might have to do a post. Okay. I'm getting a little bit off topic, but we might have to do a poll. I meant
a poll
on Instagram. Yes.
Okay.
A post or a poll. We have to do a vote of what people think. So I don't want to get too specific because out of respect of the victim and the families. But recently around the area, there was a suicide, I believe.
Okay.
Off about 25 stories. It's like a flights of, 25 flights or something like that. 25th floor.
Okay.
And the question I have for you is that it was a suicide, but what the gentleman did was he hung himself.
Okay.
And obviously it didn't, they found him on ground level. So clearly sometime the rope snapped or whatever it is. The only thing is, I have a question. I'm asking everyone but actual doctor, and it would really, really end everything if I just stopped being lazy and go make a fake doctor's appointment. So this doctor can be like, oh, everything seems okay. Well, doctor, I'm actually not here for me. I'm actually here for a question because I have no idea what's going on. Back to what I was saying is that the man, when he landed, when, he was on ground level and obviously died on impact, his head was severed from his body.
His head ripped off.
Right. I'm asking everybody, and I'm not gonna tell you what I think. I want to hear what you think first before I give it, because I want no bias.
Yeah.
Did the head detach from the rope, or did it detach when it exploded off impact from 24 to 25 stories of falling?
Okay. So I'm taking it that he hung himself from the top.
From the balcony. He must have had like a running start, or he had to probably stand up and kind of do a jump or something like that. I mean, most hangings are from trap doors anyways. It's not the hanging that really kills you at first, it's the neck snapping or whatever. This is terrible content to put on
How
the show.
long is the rope?
I don't know how long. Does it matter how long the rope is? Whether it's 10 feet or
100%.
100 feet? Why does it matter?
100%. Because you got to think of the force when he jumps off. Right? So if he's jumping off and he's got the rope around his neck and he's falling, let's say 20 stories down, his head's popping clean off.
I just don't think you have that much rope. You got rope and you're using it. So maybe can we say 10 to 15 feet long? Okay, maybe that was the drop.
I think his head popped clean off. I don't think he had any neck
I
muscles.
okay, and I cannot believe that for 1 second. I don't believe that his head popped off like a chicken from rope. I mean, no. I believe that maybe his neck got stretched out. Maybe he was hanging for a few minutes. I don't think he was hanging much longer, because people would have seen it and they would have, taken care of the issue before he fell to his death. He was going to be dead anyways. But my point is that I think his head literally detached from impact. I think it just absolutely just came off like a chicken.
But the rope broke, right?
The rope broke. Yeah, he
Okay.
fell. He eventually, fell, and whether he was alive or not before impact. I just don't. And you know what? It's a 50-50 thing, so I'm not canceling out. I just don't. I mean, I don't mean to get specific. I mean, have you seen like execution videos by beheading? It's very hard, Tanner. It's a lot of manpower. These people are hacking for minutes,
I watched, what was that? Saddam Hussein.
That was a hanging. I'm
Yeah.
talking beheading.
Oh, beheadings. Yeah, I've seen those too.
I'm talking
Those are
beheading.
fucking gross.
Okay, but do you know how much manpower goes into something like that?
Well, yeah, a lot.
A lot. I mean, you're not going to tell me some rope unless the guy hung himself with piano wire.
All depends on how much he weighs too, right?
I guess it was next subject. I don't want this content. It's going to get flagged. It's going to get flagged. You can cut this out if you want. Honestly, you can cut it out. It is. Maybe we won't do the poll. Honestly, it's very terrible.
We're going to do the poll just because.
Do the poll.
We have to.
It's very hard. I'm going to have to ask an actual doctor, because this is very, very hard. I mean, heads just don't pop off, buddy.
I think, other than asking a doctor, I think you should ask a scientist.
That's not going to happen. Why would I ask us? You want me to ask Neil deGrasse Tyson?
Yeah, somebody that can do the math.
Oh, God.
We need the weight. We need the length of the rope. We need to know how long, like how far he jumped down. Like, you know how much speed you'd pick up over 20 stories?
You're right.
A lot. Like, who's to say his head didn't pop off, but the rope broke while it popped off? Who knows? Like,
I don't know, buddy.
Are you on a brand new cell phone? Because it looks like you got some shitty filter on your fucking thing. It's terrible.
It does, right? Doesn't it look like it's blurring out? I have no idea what's going on. Maybe
whatever. I think it's kind of cool, actually.
Can I send some of these? Hang on. Can I send you this?
You just sent me a heart.
I don't know what's going on. I'm telling you, there's like it does look like a filter, right?
Yeah, it looks like a filter. I kind of like it, though. It looks like a military filter where you're all pixelated.
Yeah, I don't know why it's like that.
Secret. It's a secret podcast with... Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm not happy about it, but you know what I'm going to do?
You're going to
my camera off.
You're going to shut the camera off.
Now what?
Now it just says DB.
It says DB.
DB Cooper. That's who we're talking to. He's not actually dead. He's back.
I'm still here. I just don't like this filter. I'm not liking it at all.
So,
but
your lovely girlfriend, she took off back to the Quebec. She sent me I'll be honest. She's a real good sport on the Instagrams because I give her a hard time.
I know, and she knows that she has to put up with it because she's not going to be able to. She's not going to last unless if she has thin skin. This is not how life works here.
No.
But so I told her these are my friends, pal. You got to deal with it. But she's a good sport about everything, honestly. I'm actually very lucky, fortunate in a way, I guess you could say. She's just, not ruining my life just yet. So everything seems to be going a-okay.
Does she live in your apartment in Montreal?
She stays with me in my apartment. She actually stays, in her condo mostly.
Okay.
She likes to dog and cat sit. I'm not really a cat person until I kind of met the cats.
Yeah.
Do you have cats?
I do have one cat. My daughter has a
Very
cat.
intrusive animals sometimes. I know they like to say that, oh no, they're like very independent. It's bullshit because when they're hungry, they're just terrible.
Okay.
Terrible
Well, the Boogie
species.
Child has a cat, but this cat is perfect for her because the cat's a homicidal maniac.
Which most cats are.
This fucking cat caught a squirrel, like, black squirrel, those big fucking squirrels,
Yeah, the giant ones.
and brought it into the house still alive and let it go in the house.
I can see that.
And
Yeah.
then chased it around the house like a fucking creep.
Wow, at least you have a hero in the house.
Fucking cats. I swear to God, they're weird. So when are you actually going to go back to the Quebecs?
We'll see. I just wanted to make a statement. Do you guys do fireworks for Canada Day?
We did do fireworks for Canada Day.
Well, Canada, hold our fucking beers because we're about to show you how it's done tomorrow. I mean, I don't know. I have a lot of things still to do. I want to, rage out with the pals. It's been a while. I've had a long camp. It's been two straight fights and what we thought was going to be like a multi-man tournament, whatever it is. But
Yeah.
we're ready. By the way, ask me if I'm free tomorrow.
Are you free tomorrow?
Trick fucking question. I live in America. You're damn right I'm free. Okay?
I've been camping for the last week. We bought ourselves a nice fifth wheel tow behind trailer. We went out to the lake for Canada Day for the last 4 days. I don't know if you've seen the video of my nephew falling off of the bridge when he tried to do a chin up.
I did. I was actually scared. I'm starting to have like PTSD because when I see things like under canals or like something like that, I'm thinking, wow, gators.
Whoa.
Speaking of that, I don't mean to cut you off. Did you see me swim in a canal, like gator infested? I mean, every
Yeah.
canal in Florida is full of gators. My back was tingling. I just couldn't stay there for more than about 30 seconds.
Why
because
were
I
you in
just
there?
we thought it'd be funny if we would do some fly fishing from pool floats in the canal, but I just felt like an alligator was going to nip me in the ass. Listen, man, these things don't need much time to breathe. They take a breath and they're under for about an hour, 2 hours. And they all got to do is just snip you underneath and put you in the canal. You're never seen again. These things don't come up. You don't come up when an alligator takes you. The alligator just pulls you in the water, rolls you around, squeezes the breath out of you with its giant jaws, and you're done. You're not even coming up on the surface. That thing is going to take you somewhere else. That is you just never seen. You just see an empty pool float.
You guys are dealing with fucking dinosaurs there.
We are the Australia of North America. I mean, it's fucking wicked. Not only do we have, I learned this a couple months ago, not only do we have alligators, we have North American crocodiles.
What?
We have alligators and crocodiles. Crocodiles are actually more dangerous than alligators.
I'm not
And alligators like to stay in the swamps and the canals. Crocodiles, you can find them on the beach sometimes.
No.
And not to mention, in our rivers, because we have the Caloosahatchee River, you guys can Google it.
Yeah.
We have bull sharks. There was a bull shark founded from a guy who was fishing offshore, not on a boat, not on a kayak. He was offshore and he caught a baby bull shark. But when there is a baby bull shark, there is 12 other pups because that's how bull sharks give birth. So we have bull sharks in the river. We don't even have the Gulf to worry about. Do you understand? We have Jewfish that can swallow people whole. They'll probably eventually spit you back out.
What the fuck is a Jewfish?
A Jewfish are giant. They're like ugly groupers. They're like twice the size. Look up Jewfish. They're ginormous. They're huge. Okay? We don't have survival guides for all of this, okay? I just learned last month that we have North American crocodiles. What the hell are crocodiles doing in Florida?
Why? Why are they there?
I don't know. We have iguanas that are not native to Florida, but they were brought years and years ago by islanders or whatever. And because of our soil and land, these iguanas grow twice the size than they're actually supposed to. So we have giant, basically Komodo dragon looking iguanas. No, I don't know what kind of Jewfish you looked up. Jewfish are the twice the size of humans.
I just put in Jewfish, bro.
Jewfish, man.
Oh, like this fucking thing.
Yeah, look at that. It's twice the size of a human.
It looks like a fucking giant rock.
yes, it will swallow you whole. That's actually a small one too. Jewfish are giant, man. You got to go deep sea fishing when you want to catch one of those.
Do they eat people?
I don't. They don't eat people. They'll probably eventually spit you back out, but they can swallow you. People have gotten swallowed by
No,
Jewfish.
I'm not fucking with one of these things.
No, man. No,
Okay,
dude.
you live in one of the most dangerous places on the planet right now.
Yeah, and you know how most people die in Florida? School shootings. Could you fucking believe it? Think about that. Holy cow.
That's
We have
fucked up.
all this stuff to worry about, all this stuff, all this nature we're fighting, and we're just killing ourselves. I mean, welcome to America, I guess. You know?
So when I went to Florida, being a normal tourist, I went to this place that was like, oh, we got 5,000 alligators, and then we're gonna feed these fuckers whole chickens on a wire and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
But like, they're free to come and go.
Oh yeah.
They just hang out there because they get free food.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's really, honestly, it's very easy to domesticate an alligator. You just keep feeding, and they'll come by. There are signs, and there are $500 fines that specifically say in communities and ponds, do not feed the gators because they will come back. And when you're not there to feed them, they're gonna start snooping around houses and be like, "Wow, where's that asshole that gave me a piece of bread last week?" You know, they're coming back. It's so easy to, kind of lure an alligator or domesticate them at that point. They're very if they can get easy food, they're gonna come to you. So yeah, they're everywhere.
That's why you guys are allowed to carry guns in America.
That's why we close carry. Yes, you are absolutely right.
You can do that where you're at in Florida.
You can, if it's not open. I mean, in Texas, you can open carry.
Yeah.
Here, it just needs to be tucked underneath a shirt.
Do you have a gun license?
I don't have a gun license.
Okay.
My folks do. My mom packs the burner in her purse.
Does she?
Sometimes before I go take a trip to, go get some food, I always have to check the glove compartment, make sure they didn't leave a freaking pistol in the car because I'm not allowed to drive with one technically. I can get my license actually very easy. I'm not a felon. I've never been to jail for anything.
Yeah.
So it can be a very, very quick process. You know how in America it's a very lenient process to get guns. All you have to be is just halfway normal. I'm not a big gun guy. I've shot them. We just did it last week when I brought Sarah. Sarah's full Canadian. She loves shooting the guns. We took her to shoot AKs and ARs and Magnums and Glocks and all that stuff. But me, I guess just being around it or whatever, not like, I'm not being one of those people like I've been around gangs or whatever. It's just a culture. It's a Floridian culture. Everybody's, very fascinated with them. It's hard to tell if everyone carries them because, it's a, closed carry, concealed carry, I mean. But I was thinking about maybe it'd be a good idea to have one, but I just don't know how I would feel walking around with a pistol in my pants. I wear very tight jeans, I just don't feel like
get a man purse.
I should get a man purse. Could you imagine like pulling out like a Louis V laptop case and like, oh, let me pull out my files so I can study for this midterm. But you fucking thought,
I'd be
something
impressed.
like that. Yeah, but if this podcast, me talking about it like this, they're definitely not going to give me a gun license after making a joke like that. So, can I give you the song of the week before we wrap this up?
You can. What is it?
I want to do, man, what do I want to do?
Before you even drop song of the week, our fucking playlist hasn't been updated in 6 weeks because you've been missing.
You couldn't ask Luke for his music taste?
Oh, what are we going to listen to? Fucking Celine Dion? Get the fuck out of here.
That's precisely it. Oh my God. Yes, actually, you're probably right. It's better you leave the playlist empty. You know what? What do we want to do? Let's do Walk It Like I Talk It.
Walk It Like I Talk It.
Walk It Like I Talk It.
And who's that by?
By Migos. Because we walk the walk around here.
Okay. I got a little bit of news to drop everybody. I got a phone call while it was more of a podcast call. A gentleman called me that used to have a regular spot on this show, and he started his own podcast. There's a gentleman out there named Blaze Bogolatinov that seems to like to talk shit. September 7th, KO Boxing. Sign the contract. Show up. Let's do it.
Is this do I know this person?
I know. Oh,
this is not Bob the Burger.
Not the Burger. He's the one that has his own podcast. Yes.
But there is somebody using that outlet to talk shit, is what you're saying?
They didn't use that outlet to talk shit, but this guy's ex-girlfriend fought. There was some controversy with these two gentlemen, and then my name got brought up somehow. Listen, like, if you think you can chin me, let's do it.
I like it.
I'm not
September what?
September 7th.
Guys, that's just shy of Virgo season. I mean, let's get it done, man. That's right before fall. That's the end of summer. Let's close out summer with a bang. Summer ends September 22nd. I
Yeah.
mean, you guys have plenty of time. There's a lot of wiggle room to make that happen.
Yeah, and I'm gonna find a way that I can bring in one of the Bredicean brothers
To corner.
to corner me. And
Speaking of,
maybe we'll dust the dirt off of a living Canadian legend and put him in the corner too. I'll leave his name to your imaginations, but he's a Canadian legend in boxing. But maybe we'll get him in the corner, and hopefully we can get it to go. Listen. He called the promoter, said I wanted to fight him. Listen, I don't care who you are. I'll fight anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. Actually, I won't, because I won't do it for free.
and you can't go anywhere. You can only do it in Canada.
Well, I can go to Europe.
You can go to other places.
I can
You
go
just
to
can't.
Germany and get hosed over there.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure. Why not?
but yeah, let's just get it on, man. We don't need to do a whole bunch of shit talk. We'll just bring in the Bredicians and we'll get the show on the road.
You guys know we're just one phone call away.
Okay, so everybody knows, you mess with Mama Bredician, she's strapped.
Oh yeah,
So don't fuck with her.
Man. She's packing heat.
She's what's she packing? Is it a 9mm Glock? What the fuck we got going on?
I'll
45.
I'll keep it disclosed.
She's gonna bust out a Mac 10.
I'll
Just
keep it. I'll keep it disclosed. It's it's in the legal limits, obviously. But she packing, man. Run up on her, man. Hey, you never know.
So you need to get the fuck out of here. Obviously, you're trying to wrap this thing up early on me. I blanked out my whole day for you.
Oh God! But you know what? We did about 45 minutes. So I mean,
Did we?
I was willing to give you 10 today.
Listen,
That's
you
what I was
should be
willing to
giving
do.
me about 4 hours today because you missed 6 weeks. You fucker.
An hour for every week. Huh?
Okay,
I think
I'm
that's
gonna
what we
be
should
honest
do.
with you. I thought there was a conspiracy because Bruno wouldn't text me back either. I thought there was like a Bredician blackout.
No, you know what? There actually might be one soon. Me and Bruno might be plotting something on our own, and no one's gonna find out about it until it's all over. So until it's too late, let's put it that way.
Okay, last subject I need to get off my chest. At Fish Karma, Anthony Chiappetta. What the fuck is going on with this guy? What is the crowbar?
The crowbar is, listen, it's not about what the crowbar says. It's just you just need a crowbar sometimes.
Okay.
You understand? It's not about, when they're asking you, oh, what was introduced so much about getting a crowbar that said Supreme? Well, I didn't even know it said Supreme on it. I just wanted a fucking crowbar. Sometimes you just want a crowbar, So at Fish Karma, we got to get him on the podcast. I got to plug him in on this. I think he would be
messaged
very
him.
good content. Did he get back at you? He probably doesn't follow you, so he probably didn't.
Oh, he does follow me.
He does follow you. Did he
yeah.
respond at all?
Yeah,
He did.
He's
He
in.
sent me the screenshot. Yeah,
He's
he
in.
said that he was going to ruin my life on this podcast.
Yeah, and then you were gonna die.
Yeah, probably.
But
He could end me.
but Anthony works at fucking FedEx delivering fucking bombs.
Anthony's schedule is very, very, it's clear as day, but it's very difficult. I mean, this guy is a mess. He works. I think he works late. He works early days, and he gets out late. But when it's his days off, I can't get him to wake up before 1 o'clock.
Wow.
Which is nothing. That's about like 11 o'clock your time, but
Yeah.
still, he's very weird. But you know what? I will personally talk to him.
Yeah.
I got to see him tomorrow for 4th of July. It's going to be a hell of a week, man.
We've been teasing Platinum Mike Perry for almost a year
We
on
have
this
been
goddamn thing.
teasing Platinum Mike Perry. And you know what? I thought there was a little bit of, shaky way to approach Mike Perry. Mike Perry is solid right now. He's in Albuquerque. So he's
Okay.
actually your guys' time zone, So maybe it might work out if it ever happens. All the best to Platinum Mike Perry, man. Yeah, whoever's listening, you guys need to tune in. It's going to be on the Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic undercard. It's
That's
going
this
to be. I
weekend.
think he's on the prelims. It is this weekend, so I don't even think you have to buy pay-per-view if you weren't willing to see Mike Perry fight. I mean, it's going to be some heavy hands being dropped. So
He's
shout out
fighting
to
Paul Felder.
Paul Feller now, the replacement, last minute replacement because
Tough.
his Yancey couldn't. Yeah, tough. Even though it's a weight class coming up, he does have his hands full as much as he did with Yancey. But I think he's prepared for anything. But yeah, so shouts to Mike. Shouts to Anthony Chiappetta. We're gonna see if we can get him on some content sometime this week or next week. I'm gonna personally message him. Like I said, I'll see him tomorrow. It is just a good week for America this week. So, Tune in on my Instagram stories, everyone. You won't be disappointed.
Are you going to give me time to run through sponsors here real quick?
Of course I do. Of course I will.
All right. So the Super Mario Dario / Final Shot podcast today was brought to you by Buds and Leaves. You know, Dario always loves it when I talk about CBD. Guys, go over to www.budsandleaves.com. Get yourself a Buddha stick. Get yourself the Smile Spray because it'll make you smile, trust me. Or get yourself some CBD capsules. 20 milligrams of CBD will make your life much better every day. Take it before bed. That's what I recommend. We're also brought to you by Monster Headphones. Dario, I need to send you a set of Monster Headphones because
you do.
They're the best headphones in the business.
I'm going to start wearing a cool pair of headphones. I do have some cool pairs of headphones that I'm going to start using too. So I got to get professional. These plugs are just not going to do it. Let's bring out the boots.
We're also brought to you by Box Runner Shoes. Box Runner Shoes, they're super lightweight, breathable, durable. People can use them outdoors too. Those CrossFit fuckers, they like to use Box Runner Shoes. So Box Runner Shoes, go over to www.boxrunnershoes.com. Get yourself a pair of Box Runners. Boom!
Nice. Way to close it.
Song of the week again was Walk It Like I Talk It by Migos. Guys, Dario Bredicean finally fucking came back.
We're back.
He's back
after
with
a long
vengeance.
hiatus. I'm back, motherfuckers.
He's back. And that's the final shot. Boom.
And that's the final shot. I am on a spinning chair. I just started using an electric toothbrush, so my smile's a lot wider. Take care, guys.
Do you need